Okay, this is my 95-year-old grandmother, and I'm going to ask her about her spiritual experiences. Have you had a spiritual experience?
Yes, I have.
Was it a dream?
No, it was just like a vision. I looked at this picture would appear on a board or the wall, and you looked at it long enough for it to give you a meaning of what it meant. And God was so good to give us those visions to see, and it helped us to grow spiritually.
Did you hear a sound inside of you?
No,
Have you ever heard a light, seen a light that was inside you somehow? Like with your eyes shut, or how?
we feel like there was something in your chest, and then this vision or picture or whatever would appear, and it would be so pretty, and only you could see it at one time. Somebody standing by you didn't see it. And it would mean so much if you had a vision of this beautiful picture. It would just stay with you as long as you live. And we would share how it looked, but it was so pretty you couldn't give full details of how beautiful it was. And we were so proud when we see a vision.
Someone used to tell me that their wife, when their wife shut her eyes, she would see flowers. Day or night, she'd sometimes see flowers. So that was, I guess, the kind of thing. Have you ever heard anything unusual outside of yourself?
Like a voice or see something, or what do you mean?
Like, well, I'm asking spiritual experiences. So, a voice, yeah, like a voice that other people wouldn't hear, or
I could be walking alone through some woods, and it was no one around you. And then all of a sudden you'd hear somebody talking, and you could understand what they were saying, but you didn't answer them back. You just would hear the voice. It would mean so much. And mothers and daddies always, when their child was old enough to understand about God, they would explain that there was a supreme being called God that looked after all of us. And if we lived good moral lives, and if we treated each other fine, and if we shared what we had with others, then God would promise us that when we died, we would live at His place, and it would be heaven, and there would be no more trouble or sorrow or sickness there. And we would just enjoy people telling us about heaven. And we wanted to go there when we died.
so you would consider this as an inner guide? You would consider this as from an inner guide, or
Yeah.
Have you ever had deja vu?
What?
Deja vu, it's where you have an experience, but you think it happened before.
Yes, I have. Have you?
Yeah, I think it's because we're always thinking about and trying to plan ahead, and when we sleep, we dream about stuff before it happens, and we don't remember most of our dreams. So I think maybe people dream stuff, and then they get this feeling that because they figured out that it's probably going to happen, or it could happen. Have you ever had an out-of-body experience?
No. Have you?
Yeah, one time I was sitting praying or meditating, and it was like I was looking I was looking down at myself, and then I went around the corner, but I was, I was still sitting there doing what I was doing, but I could also see myself, and it was kind of interesting like that. Have you had a near-death experience?
Yes. I was swimming in a river, and my mother had told us not to go swimming there, but it was, you'd just be swimming along, and you could touch bottom, and it was real nice, but then all of a sudden, when you'd put your feet down, there would be no bottom you could touch. And somebody would have to come rescue you because you'd be so frightened when you couldn't put your feet down that you started to drown, and somebody would come and pull you out and take you back to shore. We had a certain place in the river that our parents and our daddies, and all the daddies of the community would get together before time for the swimming started in the summertime. And they'd walk all through that water. And if they found a hole, that if a child would be walking in the water and step in that hole, it'd go way over his head and drown. So they'd fill those holes up, and they'd go and walk all through the place where the children was going to play. And any hole or anything they'd get hurt on, they'd take it away and they'd clean the place out really. But you had to stay in that one section. You couldn't wander all over the big lake because they couldn't clean all of it. It was a huge lake. And you just cleared out the spot where you and your children was going to swim and play in the water.
So you thought you were you thought you were going to die, or your life flashed before you, or what do you mean?
It would be like your life flashed before you, and you knew that you was doing what you was not supposed to do. And you had to obey God to be able to go to heaven, to be with Him when you died. It was, we always taken to Sunday school and church when we were just little. So we learned all these things in our Sunday school class at church. And every day our mother and daddy would pray, and we had a meal, we'd sit around the table, and they called it the blessing. And they would say the blessing at the table, thank you for the food, and thank you for keeping us safe through the day. And then at the end, they'd say amen. And then when they'd go to sleep at night, before they'd go to sleep, they'd kneel down by the side of the bed, and they'd pray to God to watch over them, not let anything happen to them through the night. And if it was His will, to let them live till the next day. And so everybody was, would have some that would be bad, but most everybody trusted God and lived for Him, and they would go to His house every Sunday and worship.
So you saw so in that moment you saw some of what you were told, and has it ever seemed like you encountered the dead?
What?
The dead. I mean, their body's dead, and I don't mean you saw their body in the funeral or something. I mean that the dead person talked to you or something after they were died. Have you ever had intuition? Intuition.
Oh, yeah. I do that so many times. I just feel like if I'm at my house doing my housework, real busy, all of a sudden I feel that I should go to my mother's house. It's about a mile down the road. And I just should go shut my doors and shut the fire down and close up my house, and I hurried real fast to her house where she would have fallen and been laying there on the floor all that time. All day till Daddy would come home with fire hanging on. But that's the intuition when God tells you and shows you, makes you feel to go do something.
Well, there's people who believe that we have different parts, right? And we all either come from the same part, or some part of our soul overlaps, particularly with family and stuff. So, That's some people think that's where it comes from, but anyways, have you experienced prophecy, or have you had any of your own?
Prophecy.
Yeah.
I've experienced what other people have had, and they would tell us as a group or individually, would tell us what had happened in their lives, and then we'd realize the same thing had happened to us, but we wasn't aware of the prophecy at that time. We had people that were, they called them prophets because they could prophesy. Because if it was going to rain, if it was going to snow, or if somebody in the family was going to get bad sick. Just so many things that people would prophesy. And individuals would prophesy. And if that person that was doing the prophesying told you what they had felt and seen, and why they said what they did about you, you'd be very careful that day not to go by the river or wade through the river water that you might drown, or anywhere that you might get hurt if they prophesied.
Have you had any other amazing realizations of connections?
Like what?
Have you had any other amazement at this is connected to this, or this causes this, or, sort of, awe-inspiring moments like that where you figure out that things are connected?
No, I haven't. But I have my relatives have had those experiences. And they would share with us, and it just seemed so real. And we would all pray when something would happen. All the members of the family would gather together and pray with the member of the family that had had that experience. And then we'd feel so much better as we prayed and talked with God and sought His guidance on what to do and what to say and what not to say. And we learned so much just by listening to what God said to us.
Have you witnessed a miracle?
Yes, my little baby brother was such a sweet baby. And, oh, my mother loved him, and he would laugh. Every time he'd see her, he'd stretch out his little arms to go to her, and he would laugh and play, and wanted us to laugh and play with him. And we'd have to do our work. We couldn't play with him all the time. But he'd stretch his little arms out to you. You'd have to hold him just a few minutes, make him be satisfied, and then take him back to his little blanket that my mother had put him on the floor, so if he fell over, it would hurt him. And he would lay there and play, and every time another child would go by, and they would reach down and get him another toy, and they would play with him a while, and then they'd move on. So we had a good family.
Have you ever thought something was an expression of divine emotion? I mean, specifically, not like everything is, or,
No, I haven't. Could you tell me an example?
I was in Clark College, and I was on the grounds there, and it just happened once, and it was like every little petal of the cherry blossoms that hit the ground, and the wind was blowing and the blossoms were up, so a lot of them were hitting the ground. It was like every petal was doing remembrance, and I felt the divine presence, and at other times I felt like, tables and stuff, they're not animate, but sometimes I've been doing rituals and stuff, and it's like it feels like the floor loves me, or the chair, or the ceiling or something, and it's like I know they're not physical beings, but you feel like they love you. Okay, which one? Do you think you've had a past life recall or something that people would think would have come from a previous life?
I'm
How are you today?
pretty good. I just hiked around the park.